Well, I was part of the Sheboygan experiment, 1951. You probably heard about that. I don't call it time travel, let's be real clear, okay? I call it interdimensional recess. I was just a kid. We were all just kids. So recess was our favorite thing. So, that bewitched thing where she just wiggled her nose and, we all had our own thing that would, take us away, as it were, right? And, I can't tell you mine because if I do it now, and, well, I'm gone. I'm like that. I'm like, poof, and that's the way it just works. And I go somewhere else. And I've been in a lot of places, and, that's how that works. So we were just kids. And, some of us made it, some of us didn't make it. Some of us are still here. Some of us are still doing it. Some of us have stopped. Some of us have wife and kids, and all that stuff, and living the normal life and trying to keep our noses clean. But we got in a lot of trouble for this interdimensional recess thing. Right? We took some teachers with us, and we didn't like those ones, and then we just kind of left them there. We came back. We ran class on our own. So yeah, that's how we did it back then. Music? Wow, we don't call it music. I don't call it music, personally, all right? I call it audio manipulation of the frequencies, and it's far more powerful, and you don't want to fuck with that shit unless you know what you're doing, all right? One little, one little whatever hertz thing, you know, you know what I mean? You change the frequencies a little bit. Yeah, you got some real issues going on if you do that and you don't know what you're doing, because you could just you change someone's DNA right in front of you and they become something completely different. And I watched it happen. Right, my best friend was like talking, and I was like, he goes, "Why don't you sing a song? What are you working on, Jimmy?" And I said, "Well, I'm working on this," and I sang a little song, right? Well, I didn't tell him, it's like it's not music, it's change a little frequency, and I just like, so I dialed up the song, I sang it to him, and oh boy, he turned into a freaking lizard right there, right on the spot, little gecko, little like rainbow gecko kind of thing, fins and shit all over his, and I couldn't get him back. I said, you can't ask me to sing a song and then not be prepared for the consequences. What happens? So, yeah, I don't mess with that stuff anymore. I don't take requests just for that reason. I see my own thing. It's safe. You're able to listen to this stuff, and it won't hurt you. It won't hurt you. Okay? But it can. It can. All I gotta do is just change one note. One note. Really careful. Really, really careful about that. My daily routine? Oh, well, I get up, about 3 p.m., thereabouts, right? Want to get up with, about 3 hours. It takes me about 3 hours to really get up. And then by the time I'm up, the sun's about to go down. So I have to tailor that, depending on the time of the year. But that's how I do it. That's my natural biorhythm, all right? And I just kind of keep it that way, and I just adjust ever so slightly with the changing of the, seasons and all that stuff. And it's I've got it down to a science now. And so I eat my breakfast about 7 p.m. and off I go, start my day, and I have a very full day, usually. I call all kinds of people. So at that hour, nobody's up and nobody's doing business. So I don't get a hold of anybody, but I make those calls. I just put it out there in the ether. I just put it out there, put it out there, put it out there. Some people get back to me, cuss me out and do whatever they want to do and stuff like that. But I'm just putting it out there. I can't help other people's reactions to it. So that's my social media, if you will. I just put it out in the old universe, and whatever happens, happens. And so that's how it happens. Clear? and then I take a shower about midnight, okay? And then by about 3:33 a.m., I'm ready to start writing, material and, honing my craft and whatnot. And I do that. And then I, sit down for my meditational, interdimensional manipulation of physical matter, okay? And that takes me a couple hours to do all that. And, I burn some incense and weed, and sometimes I burn portions of the house. It's a whole ritual. It's a whole process. It's a whole ceremony that goes on with all this stuff. It's not easy, okay? But I got it down to a science, and that's what I do. I don't recommend this for anybody else. You really, really gotta, you gotta crack. You gotta hone your routine. You gotta hone it, right? Polish it like a fine turd, and then once that happens, then you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to rock and roll with the best of them. It's very, very critical that you do it right every day. Every day. Well, my advice for kids is just don't grow up. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. Just, read Peter Pan every day. And resist. Talk back to adults. Be a little snot to everybody. And then people go, oh, he's just a kid. Right? You can be 35 years old and do that shit, and people just leave you alone. So just do that. Don't ever grow up, because if you do, it takes on whole kinds of just responsibilities, and you don't want that crap. Shoot, man. I mean, so just just be a little asshole your whole life, and people just kind of let you be, and that's the way I've done it. So I practice, and I teach, ass-holiness, and, comebacks, witty repartee. I got it all. I got a bag of tricks going on, and I got pull things on. I've done this. I got tools of the trade, and, it's just, yeah. I can be an asshole in every situation, and not everybody can. Right? Not everybody can. I mean, they have their moments, and then they got regrets, and they got guilt, and all that kind of stuff. I don't have any of that. I'm a very consistent asshole, and I have perfected the art of ass-holiness, and I teach it, I preach it, and I hone my craft in it. And I'm a fine purveyor of other assholes. I find them wherever they are, and I meet them where they are, and we get into it, and yeah, we're just complete assholes to each other, and it works. And we have that understanding. We have that camaraderie. We got that connection going on, right? So assholes of the world, unite. Right on. Just power to the asshole. And so we put it out there, and then we hone it, and then we craft it, and then we just and then we communicate it, and then we're just and then we're in the asshole groove. Well, I can't say it's been a pleasure talking to you. I mean, it is what it is. It's neither a pleasure nor a pain. So, but anyway, I'll see you down the road. Hopefully, you can take some of these tidbits of wisdom, and you can work with them, and you can kind of, become whatever you're going to become. But you tailor that to all the other kind of factors that go into becoming a complete asshole. All right? A complete asshole. And once you've done that, and then word gets out, and people start, you see it everywhere. Man, he's an asshole. And then you know without a doubt that you are on the frequency, that you have made it, that you are walking the path of ass-holiness, and no one's going to fuck with you. At that point, no one's going to fuck with you, because they know this guy is an asshole, and they better leave you alone. And so in that way, you develop your wisdom. So go in peace, and just go fuck with others.